Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a slightly shorter podcast this week. We're going to try and make it shorter anyway, but you know what we're like. Episode 86 today. Jacob, please, write us a number 86. Actually, no, we'll start with Cameron.
Why? Why even bother?
The look on his face then when he thought, I got away with this.
Chill, and then he was like, oh, no.
I've just gone straight to Jacob. Lovely. 86. I don't know. Like I was saying, I will have seen this on
my countdown.
On your countdown. What? 3 weeks ago now? What is about 60 days left? Yeah, so about 3 weeks ago.
60, yeah.
To be fair, 3 weeks ago, I look at a lot of stuff on Instagram. I will have forgotten.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
No, I have no idea. 86. As soon as you say one, I'll be like, oh yeah, of course. But
yeah, it's quite an unknown number to be fair. So we'll go with Jacob.
Yeah, well, there's not many. I could think of three, which was Cyrene on his debut.
Yeah.
At Sepang. Then obviously he didn't run it again, or may have run it a couple of more wild cards.
I don't know.
Aitan Badavini in Supersport and Superbikes.
Oh, yeah.
And
good spot.
And my mate Killian Nastola.
Oh, yeah.
Don't give him a follow.
Forgot about that. Yeah, Killian Nastola. Let's go. I've got some for you then. Two that aren't there. Charlie Nesbitt.
Oh. Spud, yeah, obviously.
And a rider called Owen Jenner in the British Stock 600 who had a very really sexy grid boy last year. Like, he was like, Alton Park last year, his grid boy was like really sexy. I don't know why. He kind of looked like me as well, which is a bit weird.
You holding that 151 umbrella.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I've been his grid boy. So, we've got to give him a shout out. So, yeah, shout out to Owen Jenner. But yeah, basically, we've not really got much. We're going to try and do like a proper podcast, but we're kind of a bit tired. It's kind of Monday. We normally record on a Sunday. It's now Monday night. It's like nearly 10 o'clock at night. We haven't got Lauren to kind of, keep the peace.
So we're just going to kind of start all the arguments.
Keep Jacob in check, basically.
Yeah, keep Jacob in line. So we're just going to basically just talk about some of the liveries that have been unveiled. Obviously, Pecco and Bautista using the number 1. And that'll be about it. So, it should be quite a short podcast, but...
That's why we're here.
So will we start? Should we go in chronological order? Or?
We'll go with the Yamaha livery first. And it was pretty much the same, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Same. Next.
Yeah. Our jury got paid us back for that.
Oh, man. See, the thing with this monster Yamaha livery is, see if this was the first year we'd ever seen that livery, we'd be like, that is a really good looking bike. I love it. But it's the same as we've seen so many, it's like for so many years now. We're like, oh, I'm over it. But actually, it's a really good looking bike, but we're just used to it.
Is.
And that's the thing.
Like,
the thing is, their livery wasn't the top of the priority list, was it, for Yamaha? The state of their 2022.
Yeah, but, that's a different department now, isn't it? The livery guys aren't handling the horsepower. Come on.
Well, they might have been based on 2022.
Well, actually, good point.
There's
just not much to talk about with Yam, is there? Like, it's the exact bike that Fabio hopped off at Valencia that they revealed it with, because obviously they ain't showing the 23 bike yet until Sepang. It's just, there's nothing new to talk about with it. That's what gets me now about liveries. Normally, they drop the livery like first test or first race, maybe a quick reveal before, but it'd be the new bike. Now, nobody wants to show any secrets before the shakedowns or whatever, and it's just pretty much the same.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing I do like is that they've kind of linked the Yamaha livery is the same in the Supercross as well. Ellie Tomac's livery is the same, and there's somebody else.
Yeah, Siwa in MXGP.
Yeah, that's it. So you know better than me. So they basically kind of harmonized liveries across through. I like it because it's got the the camo on it. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, it suits the motocross bikes better, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks really like the MXGP bike especially is really good looking.
I prefer Tomac's one. I don't know what it is about Tomac's bike.
Because it's got number 1 on it, probably.
It just looks bluer for some reason. It looks more blue.
Well,
maybe it's just the images.
Yeah, I think it's just the picture because they're using the same shade globally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, they're using the same color code for everything. But it looks really nice. It looks great across all the board. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. about that.
Apparently,
looking
their
forward to seeing.
It's not going to be ready till 2024 properly.
Damn.
So-
Well, Cal's doing some stuff at the
Apparently,
shakedown, isn't he?
Marmarini's designed it, but it's not going to be a full fix for every idea he has implemented till 2024, which probably will coincide with when they bring the satellite team back.
Bloody hell.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
any
for
bump
another
in
year of
power
patience.
is a good bump. You know what I mean? But if they want to get to Suzuki levels of engine, you're gonna have to wait a year, Yamaha fans.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of Suzuki, though, what's his name? He's gone from Suzuki to Honda.
Ken
What's his
Kawauchi.
name? That's it, Ken Kawauchi. That's a really good steal from.
Yes, that is
for
huge.
Honda.
Like that's bigger than people are making out. That is because
that's monumental.
what he ran after Brivio left Suzuki, he basically not only steadied the ship but improved it.
Is he going HRC or is he going Repsol Honda?
I believe it's Repsol specifically.
Yeah, I thought it was Repsol, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because obviously Rins will be able to help because he's worked with him, and then Mir obviously will be instrumental for it.
Yeah, I can't imagine if Rins comes along to him and says, "Oh, I found this," he'd be like, "Go away, I don't work for you."
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So that's really good for the Honda.
That 2024 Honda is going to look suspiciously like a Suzuki next year.
It's going to look really,
You just got
it might, do you know what the worst part is? It might actually look like the Suzuki because they go in Akrapovic exhaust as well.
Yeah, that's been announced, hasn't it? Akrapovic.
Yeah, this is something I did want to discuss quickly because it's very not Honda to farm out their ideas. Now they've got Kalex doing their swing arms. They've got Akrapovic doing their exhausts. Have they finally woke up and smelt the coffee and realised that what they're doing is not working?
Yeah, potentially.
Because
you never know.
It's not Honda normally keep everything in house, like everything. So to have this happen is big, really big.
Oh yeah, big. Yeah, it's be interesting to see how it kind of goes into 2023 and how that kind of dynamic helps Honda. I really think Mir and Rins can make a positive impact at Honda and turn the bike around.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Because obviously this is the interesting thing, I think, now. Because we spoke the other week about Marquez maybe leaving for Ducati, right? Marc Marquez, of course, because the other one's already done it. And if Marquez does leave because the bike isn't there, Marc could have to drop Red Bull for Monster Energy now.
Yeah, because we've seen.
The new Ducati has ties with Monster Energy, meaning Nannea Bastianini's had to change his sponsorship from Red Bull to Monster, and it looks absolutely terrible on his helmet, to be honest. It looks awful. It looks awful. I despise it. His new helmet's been ruined by logos everywhere as well. Everywhere, he has the teeth at the front, and then inside the mouth's just a logo as well. And you're like,
God,
do you want to be the logo's been eaten by the beast?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. And it suits Red Bull so well.
Yeah.
To see him a Monster again just looks gross. To be honest.
I love a Red Bull helmet though. To be fair, Suzuki's is really cool, and
it's
got an aura,
something about it.
Yeah. Acosta.
You can't buy a Red Bull lid. Whereas you can buy a Monster Energy. When I raced motocross my last year, I had a Monster Energy Aero.
HJC are now doing Red Bull ones. They got two. They got a Jerez one and the Austin ones, but they're the first two ever.
Yeah. And they're rare as well, limited edition, and they
expensive as well. Yeah. But I don't know. I just don't really like it. But we'll go on to the Gresini livery first.
Love.
It's an upgrade on last year's. I hated last year's. Just want to put that out there. It was rank. Last year's was disgusting.
I was told in many, many corners that I was wrong for hating it last year, and I just didn't like it because it was different. And the fact of the matter is that's not the case. I didn't like it because it was shite. It looked like a bathroom. Literally, it's the colour you paint your bathroom in it. But now, with the splash of red and the slight colour change in the tone, because we actually saw the Pantone colours of exactly what colour it was. And it is different, and it's much, much nicer. I love it. I think it's really, really nice this year.
Yeah, it's less sort of, I don't know, powdery and not
it's also,
thought about. I don't know.
It's more factory. which I think shows the involvement in Ducati more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's more red, but the suits, I don't know what they've done.
I like the suits because they are not just one color again. Like the bike.
Yeah, but they just look like somebody's wearing red overalls. Like, it just looks a bit weird.
Yeah, like they're not the best design, but I think they work with the bike. I think if you look at both of them alone, they sort of don't work. But then put them together as a package, I think they work really well.
Yeah, on the bike it looks nice. I think when they lie down, the stripes on their back are in line with the stripes on the side of the bike, which looks nice.
That's pretty
cool.
cool. Like, bit of thought there. Nice.
Yeah, like it's a good little tidbit they've done.
Yeah, I was laughing at how small Australia Galicia's logo was on it. That's where €1 million gets you.
Yeah, it's tiny. Is it only on Alex's bike?
No, it's on DG's as well, which I was a little surprised at.
The fine DG looks weird without Red Bull, I'll say.
Yeah, I wanted to say about that. He designed a Red Bull helmet without Red Bull, haven't he, basically?
Yeah, he's just basically removed the logos and kept the same design,
Yeah,
it
literally same colours, same everything. Yeah. Like, you could tell, I don't think he wanted to leave Red Bull.
No. I think they've dropped a lot of riders. They dropped Salach, they dropped Raul Fernandez, they've dropped quite a number. Obviously, they've lost Anea. There's a lot of energy drink changes. Both the BMW riders in World Superbikes, Van der Mark and Redding, have lost Monster Energy, reportedly, because they got a sponsor, Rocket, who apparently have their energy drink now.
Yep.
So they've had to change.
But they've gained David Alonso.
David Alonso, the Red Bull Rookies champ is now Red Bull athletes. That's good. I like to see the energy drinks kind of putting money into younger riders to get them up there. Riders like Raul Fernandez, Jorge Martin have massively been able to prove their career chances by being backed by like a big brand like Red Bull. So it's nice to see it. And like Didier as well, he's been backed by Red Bull since his second ever Moto3 year. So the scene without it looks so weird.
It's just wrong.
I just think he's synonymous with Red Bull, to be honest. So seeing it without it, it's just
it's really weird. And he must be looking over at Alex at the reveal, thinking, "Why have you got my lid on?"
Yeah, why have you got Red Bull on?
How have you kept it and I haven't?
Yeah, what the hell? But so we had the Gresini livery, and then we had the most important one, the factory Ducati livery was announced. Unfortunately, the surprise of the number ones for Bautista and Didier were destroyed early because they got leaked online.
I wonder who did that.
Yeah, I don't know. Ducati, maybe. I think Ducati themselves leaked it.
Yep, exactly what I was driving at.
Whoopsie.
Leaked, he says.
Yeah, somebody updated their website and forgot, instead of like actually, keeping it in developer mode, they just decided to publish it instead.
Nah, that was definitely deliberate to raise hype.
Maybe.
But
like, it
you
just
don't need
spoils
to
the whole
hype.
thing, doesn't it?
You don't need to hype either. Like, we got 2 world champions on the same manufacturer. Like, why do you need to hype that up by dropping it early?
Yeah. It's nice to see them though with a number one.
It should be a
really
requirement, in my opinion.
I think Ducati, personally, like, I love the fact they're using number one. It's been the first time. Bagnaia is the first rider since Casey Stoner in 2012 to run the number one. The last rider to defend a number one in MotoGP is Mick Doohan in 1998. And he run number one in 1999, but then obviously had that career-ending accident.
Yep.
In Supers, I kind of expected it. I expected Bautista to run number one because Toprak's run it, and then Reyes run it the years before, and then before that was Guintoli ran it, Tom Sykes ran it. Before then, my knowledge doesn't go very further back than 2012, unfortunately. All these riders have run this number one in Superbikes, so I kind of expected that. I think for Ducati as well, even if both riders wanted to use their own number, I think Ducati may have maybe offered a bonus or an initiative to run that number one because it looks so good for Ducati if they've got 2 riders in the highest production and the highest prototype series in the world with a number one on their bike in the factory team. That looks so good and will sell them a lot more bikes for that reason.
Yeah, it's a good ego stroke for sure. Yeah,
I'd be interested to see if they're like regional champions run it as well, because Pirro can run it.
He's never run it. He always runs 51.
Yeah, so if he runs it, we'll know there's some kind of like bonus in place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, So
yeah, like I like it a lot, but I think it should be a requirement. Like I get that, you know, riders and their brands center around their number a lot of the time, but it's, at the same time, I think you should be required to show it as a champion.
Yeah, I don't know, because Top Rack said after, you know, even if you won the championship, it'd revert back to 54 because of the pressure of the number one in front. And then you go look to, you know, and obviously they say it's cursed. You look to Taron McKenzie this year, who ran the number one in BSB and broke his leg twice and had a nightmare. And then Bradley Ray he won the title and then ran the number one for the last few races and had his worst race weekend of the entire season with the number one, including a crash. And you're like,
I do think it is something to be said with pressure. Like mentally, you know that you are top of the tree then.
You've got a target on your back.
Yeah, you're top of the food chain and everybody wants to come and take that place. So to run the one, like you have to be very mentally strong to be able to run a number one.
Is Pecco that strong?
And that's exactly what I was about to say. I don't think he is. And I think, personally, don't hate me, Pecco fans, but I think he's running the number one because it's the only opportunity he's going to get and he knows it.
Maybe. Like, you never know. Like, maybe, I wonder if Mir is regretting not running number one.
That's it, no.
I don't know.
Like, if I was him, I would be at this point because unless Honda come with heat in 2024, I can't really see him having any opportunity to run number one again.
Yeah,
I can't look past Pecco for the championship this year. I think it'd be actually no, Bastianini. To be honest,
Bastianini, Marquez,
Fabio, maybe if the bike's there. Yeah, Marquez
Fabio if they've got a little bump in power.
Oliveira.
Oliveira, yeah. Oliveira is a massive outside shot when it's not even like a joke. Like,
3 of the 4 Aprilia riders, I think, are genuine championship contenders.
Yeah.
If Aleix finds the same sort of consistency and keeps it going to late season, then again, could be Aleix. Might not win a race, but he could do a Mir, you know?
Yeah, you never know. Like,
if you're consistently on the podium, you don't need to win races anymore because the season's so long. Obviously, with sprint races coming in.
Oh, God, yeah.
Consistency over 42 races, it could well pay off.
Yeah.
So I think Pecco is going to be 4th or 5th in the championship myself.
I don't know.
And then everybody will be like, oh, it's the number one curse, when the reality is that, like,
to be 5th in this championship,
it's not a bad thing.
A hell of an achievement.
It's not a bad thing, but like, and the other issue Pecco's going to have is all the Ducatis are going to be taking points off him because Ducati have an absolute quality lineup through the entire field this year.
Yep.
So he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think. We haven't got... When's the next announcement? I can't remember.
I want to say Friday?
We're on the 23rd.
Who is it? Is it the KTM?
I feel like it's KTM, on Gas.
I've really enjoyed those like teaser shots of the KTM.
I've not seen them.
Oh, no, that was just a Mobile One sponsorship.
Oh, I thought they were teasers. Oh my God.
Like, it will be on the bike, but...
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the colour of that, whatever it is really nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. We say it's not a lot to talk about, but there has been a few little interesting tidbits about them, hasn't it? Nothing huge, though. Like, I don't really see how we can, discuss an oil sponsorship per se.
No.
Like,
nice colour. That's it.
Yeah, but like, it's like, now they obviously... be interested to see if they still use ETS fuels, which they've exclusively used and got a little bump in power through it. But whether Mobile One will let them continue to do that, I don't
know. No. Pramax next, by the way.
Oh, when?
Oh.
I remember a video they posted earlier. Let's have a look.
I wonder if they'll look like a Milka bar again.
Yeah. Wednesday at 5 p.m. GMT plus 1, so 4 p.m. our time.
I wonder if Jorge Martin will smile to it.
Yeah, well, speaking of Jorge Martin, he is the first rider officially confirmed to be wearing the Alpine Stars helmet this year as well.
That is Chef's kiss.
It looks weird though.
It's like a shark had sex with a KIT. That's what it looks
AGV,
like.
Shark and an AGV, like.
Yeah, they definitely took some shark cues with the tail fin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so it's a very very good looking helmet though. Very good.
Yeah, and Anea, no, not Anea.
Miller.
Jack Miller. Jack Miller's also rumoured. I say rumoured. He's literally going to be wearing Alpine Stars leathers, boots and gloves anyway. We already know this.
Yeah.
But
he's going
the helmet is very much rumoured. Yeah. Like, so it'd be Jack. I wonder, right? Jack Miller is obviously, he wore an Alpine Stars in 2014 and then wore Day and Easy 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So like 7 years off the top of my head, 7 seasons, maybe 8 seasons. How much did Alpine Stars pay Jack to leave Day and Easy and AGV, which are the same company, to their biggest competitors? They must have doubled his salary.
But
like, there will be some money.
The thing is, though, it's like the pull of Alpine Stars. They're the only ones who can compete with Dainese. Let's be honest. Like, if money's no object, you've got 2 options in the leathers, haven't you, really?
Yeah, well, and those two are the only brands that they pay the most. Like, and Moto 2 and Moto 3 riders don't get paid very well by Alpine Stars.
Yeah.
But then when you hit MotoGP, you can see over $1 million a year.
Well,
like salary from Alpine Stars.
Mark is 7 figures from A-Stars, 7 figures from Shui.
Yeah.
You know, once you make it big, the financial rewards.
If you win a championship, you can triple your like boot deal or whatever.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Speaking of A-Stars and deals, Alex Marquez's boots. Oh,
yeah, they're nice.
Oh, they are fire this year.
I like Digi's though, because they're just red. I like red. It's my favourite colour.
And there's just something about custom boots, and they feel special.
Yeah, they look good. Because they made them use the same ones last year with a number on it, and I guess they've done a similar thing this year, but it looks a bit different. Looks nice. Back on team unveilings, we've got Pramac on the 25th, KTM on the 26th, so Thursday. Then the next one's not for a full month after that, 23rd of February, Repsol Honda.
Yep.
Then Gas is in March, April's in March, and a week later is RNF.
I'm really looking forward to Gas. You just know there's going to be Red Bull in there.
I hope so. Well,
and if you look at Barsha's Supercross bike, if that's any indication.
Yeah. It looks good. But then you've got, obviously David Alonso's now a Red Bull athlete, so maybe that'll have some influence. Who's this team? Was Yamanaka, so maybe not then. I think Guevara might get snapped up by Red Bull as well. But
yeah, they'd be like, any brand would be stupid not to pick up Guevara at this point.
I'm almost certain Guevara will carry either Red Bull or Monster this year.
The fact he doesn't yet have an energy drink sponsor, same as Garcia.
Yeah,
it's really odd.
It's bizarre. I think last year was different because I think David Alonso, when he won the Red Bull Rookies, and normally a rider who wins the Red Bull Rookies gets offered the sponsor. So they get offered an Alpine Stars deal, they get offered a HJC deal, and they get offered a chance to be a Red Bull athlete. And I was told by a rider who's been within the Aspar structure previously that you can't run like Red Bull with it because of the Red Bull want to take over the whole helmet when you're in Moto 3. When you're in MotoGP, you can just show the logos. They wanted to take over the whole helmet, but the brands that were on the helmet's chin, the team sponsors that have paid to be on that helmet, wouldn't give up the space. So he couldn't have the Red Bull logos because the previous existing sponsors wouldn't give up the space. But now he's in the World Championship. It works better for him. So
yeah,
there's a bit of information.
Bull, they put so much into MotoGP and bikes as a whole that they sort of have, I wouldn't say a God-given right, but like they are fair to take over the helmet because the amount they pour in to careers, to bikes on the whole.
Yeah, and like you go to like their athlete performance center, like Marquez has been there this week along with Nick De Vries and some other guys, you know, and I remember when Bradley Smith broke his leg a few years ago and Red Bull paid for all of his medical expenses. They paid for everything, all his rehab, all his everything. They flew him out to Austria, sent him to their own rehab things for their own athletes. And
Jesus.
Yeah.
Funded all that. And Red Bull did that off their own back.
Yeah, Monster don't do that.
I'm not sure about that. I'm going to say not 100% sure if they do or don't. Just to,
Monster has previously had form for drop-in riders who have injured themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas you very, very, very rarely see Red Bull drop an injured rider.
Yeah. Or they'll do it when a contract ends or something like that. But yeah, so I don't really think we're just yapping now about anything, I think now.
But no, that's everything that's gone on, really. Like, obviously.
Yeah, recently, I'm just trying to think.
I don't think there's anything we've missed.
No, I think we've encapsulated everything. It's 60 days to go when this podcast goes out. So it'll probably be 59 days.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of tip of information. If you care about these sponsors and all that thing, Moto America have now homologated Shark helmets for use.
Cameron
Peterson's changed from Array to Shark because previously riders in Moto America couldn't wear a Shark helmet because they didn't have the emergency cheek removal pads. And the Moto America will require all riders to have the cheek removal pads so you can take the helmet off in an accident. So either the helmet has been changed to suit Moto America's regs, or they've just allowed it regardless.
You've got to think it's been changed because cheek removal pads kind of essential. Like even budget helmets tend to have those. So the fact the Shark didn't was a little alarming to me. So I really hope they have now.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
Yes. I think we're good. I just don't think there's much else, is there?
I'm happy.
No.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not happy, but I'm happy.
Yeah, we're never happy.
There's a deep sadness in the Scottish.
Yeah.
That's
you okay, Cameron?
Oh, one thing we've missed.
Oh,
Gresini's Moto 2 sponsor.
Oh, yeah, QMJ Moto, isn't it?
Yeah, QJ Moto also own Benelli.
Oh.
Apparently tried to buy Volkswagen when Dieselgate came out.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, like apparently but it didn't happen or wherever. But they're a massive company in China. They got something like 28% of the market share on bikes over 250 in China. Like, and when you think of, how big the Chinese market is for bikes, that's a lot of bikes.
Yeah, it's
a few quid. Yeah.
And I think they'll be putting in quite a bit because obviously Avintia are no longer in Moto 3.
No.
So now they've stepped up their game to Moto 2. How long before they go to MotoGP?
Yeah. Interesting. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's everything then.
Yep.
Yeah, but really, these off-season pods are quite difficult, aren't they? Because it's just
it's really 85 and a half, really, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's really difficult to make a sponsor interesting. You know what I mean? But it's all we got to talk about.
That's it.
Well,
but it's what it is, I guess. But I hope you've enjoyed listening. Anyway, we're back next week. We're going to try and do a predictions pod if we can get everybody on. We can do our yearly predictions thing. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this pod, and we're back next week. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.